And this is Meredith. And yeah, we're presenting on the gender gap here.
Sorry.
It's okay. Soon you'll see a slide. and on that slide, it's going to share with you a little bit about what we're seeing right now. So both Meredith and I are teachers, and we're also women. And we're seeing two systems that are a little bit outdated and need to be revamped. So as educators, will you go back one? Or can I just toggle through them?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. So, as educators, we're seeing more and more students opting out of going to college right after high school, and we're seeing less and less of a correlation between a college degree and employability or success in the workforce. And we're seeing more of a correlation between getting a college degree and then being saddled with unsurmountable debt, and then not being able to buy a house, not being able to plan savings, not being able to plan for retirement. So it's becoming more and more apparent that college is sort of needs to be revamped as an option for attaining success in education. We're also seeing, as women, the way that this picture goes, this is like a woman's life going across, and this is a man's life going across, just so you can follow the graphic. We're seeing women having tremendous success in education. We have more women graduating from than men with college degrees, but then something happens. We enter the workforce, and we're seeing, in career-level jobs, we're seeing only 8% of the top earners are women, and only 14% of CEOs are women, and only 20% of people holding political office in the U.S. are women, for what's 51% of the population being women. So something's happening between graduating from college and having a career that women are falling behind, and that's when we start talking about the gender gap. So we have these two things, and obviously I like to think in graphics. So we have these two things, and if you can imagine kind of this Venn diagram of education needing to get revamped, and then issues with the gender gap. So Meredith and I started thinking about sort of that intersection. What can we generate out of that intersection? How can we help create an educational option which creates a cultural shift where there's good choices that women can make that they want to have? Because I think a lot of the issue, if you go back here, you see a lot of these top-level jobs, and just the setup of those jobs doesn't work with a woman's life. If you want to have a child, if you want to take care of aging parents, if you want to do a lot of the things that traditionally women end up doing in our culture, it doesn't work with this kind of jobs. So how can we kind of revamp the whole system in terms of what options are available? How can we empower women and girls to move into that? And how can we create a viable educational option to get them there? So we looked at the research, and the research that talks about closing the gender gap talks about three things. It talks about the necessity of feeling like there's an invitation. So in the program that we designed, which I'll tell you about in just a second, it creates invitation by showing that there's opportunity and empowering girls to take this opportunity. The second thing that needs to happen is there needs to be collaboration. So in the Gender Gap Year program, there's girls working together. There's also girls working with people on both sides of the gap, and that's how you close the gap. And then the last thing is visibility, which is just changing social norms and having more and more messages about this is what success looks like. It looks 51% female. This is what jobs that earn a living wage look like. They look 51% female. So we dreamed and we came up with the Gender Gap Year. So it's a year-long program that a girl can do after she finishes high school, and we split it into 3 parts. The first third here is about skills acquisition and self-exploration. So through experiential education, introspection, interviews, and research, the girl's going to identify who she is and what components of the gender gap she feels will affect her life most. The second third is about actually getting the skills. So she's made this list of skills that she feels like she needs to gain, and so she's going to identify where she's going to get them and what she has that she can share. And then the last third is going to be, it's called the shift, and it's about creating a project with impact and legacy. So what we're asking you guys for today, and what we need is, you'll see over there we have a bunch of business cards. We just need to spread the word. So grab a business card, visit our website. If you like us on Facebook or connect with us on LinkedIn, we're going to be launching a Kickstarter this winter. And we need that Kickstarter to have reach. And if you have connections to media outlets that will help us generate buzz, or I don't know, fancy people that you can introduce us to, that would be great too. And lastly, if you have young women in your lives, show them that we exist, show them that we are an option, and create that invitation for us.